Hello and welcome to the Lou Review podcast. My name is Rosa Hart. I'm your host, and today I get to interview Chef Michael Crouch. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to be here.
Yeah, I've been enjoying your artistic food creations for years now, so I'm so excited to finally get to know you better.
Yeah, no, happy to sit down and chat and see what's going on inside this head of mine.
Yeah, have you been living in denial? Are you going to learn something about yourself?
I never know. I learn something about myself every day.
That's fair. All right, well, let's start from the beginning. So, I love to highlight the people that are making Louisville and the Kentucky area in general a great place to be. It's one of the best cities to raise a family. And now we have a food scene that is giving Chicago a run for its money, I'll say,
Yeah.
in my opinion. I did go to check, but I came back because it's awesome
Yeah.
here. So, are you from the Louisville area originally?
Yeah, I would say I am. I grew up as a child out in Shelby County. So essentially a suburb, if you will, of Louisville, pretty much. So, but I've lived in Louisville for the past, I guess it's after I got out of college, I moved out this way. So for a while.
And what was your first degree in?
I was going for commercial art and graphic design, which, I used to paint and I used to draw a lot, and this kind of what I thought my path was going to be as far as art. And essentially, I guess I still am doing a form of art. I just put it on a plate rather than a canvas. So,
Yeah.
you know, I, I couldn't figure out where my path was, as many people that age have been. So, it fell in my lap what I do now.
I definitely hear you there. My first degree was in singing, opera style. So
Oh,
that is not what I get paid to do now. So
yeah. Well, do you still sing? Do you still sing occasionally?
yeah, yeah.
That's
And
good.
I've really had fun Dickens caroling more recently.
Oh, yeah.
So
Cool.
any excuse to dress up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, did you go to culinary school here locally
No, I didn't.
eventually?
I took my first job. I was looking through the classifieds, the actual paper that they had back in the day, and I just needed a job. I took a job as a garmager at Standard Country Club here in Louisville. So working, making salads, sandwiches, kind of, working the
Hmm.
country club life. Way too many hours and Sundays, and but learned a plethora of information. So I was there for, I think it was about 2 years. Got my foot in, worked under a co-chef and his wife, and they taught me so much because I didn't know anything about food, essentially, especially the restaurant business. And then I went on to work for a guy who came over from France. Alsace is when I became chef de cuisine at Le Beaujolais. So that was my first job at an independent restaurant where I really got in and learned. Patrick Peter was his name, the my chef and mentor, and man, the everything I learned from him was just astronomical. It just molded my head and gave me a absolute love for this business. So yeah, it's impossible to tell you how much I learned from that guy. So
Right.
he really uh, put that in me, and the passion and love for this business.
And then you actually did travel to France to train as well. Is that right?
Train quotes,
I don't know.
drink
Was
drink
that a
wine,
formal thing or
drink
how did that work?
drink wine, maybe, and just go out. Yeah, I mean, a little bit of time in Paris, and his mom had a restaurant in Alsace, and then him and his wife had two restaurants in Geneva. So I dabbled a bit, just kind of went over there, and what I realized more than anything was the level of French cuisine that he was doing and had me doing at Le Beaujolais was pretty much mimicked itself over there.
Okay.
really. So I was like, well, I mean, I learned. I always learn. I'm learning every day. But
Mhm.
it gave me an appreciation for what we were doing here in town.
Yeah, so it was pretty authentic.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. There was
And
no, it was no, we were getting 50 pound cases of carrots and potatoes in, and we were, tornaying them, and we didn't have blenders, or we were hand rolling all of our pasta, making our bread every day, all these different stocks. It was like true, true scratch, everything. Like nobody in town was doing what we were doing, in my opinion.
yeah, well,
And I'm usually right.
you can at least vouch for what you were doing, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You never tell what other people are doing in the back, but
Yeah,
you
you
know what
don't.
you're.
You don't.
Yeah.
But that was a long time ago too. I was at a few other restaurants since then too. But this was when I was 24, I think,
Hmm.
and I'm 30 now. So
Oh, yeah, that's a
I look,
long time.
I look terrible, don't I?
I
For
mean,
40 or 30.
well, this must be the time we pivot the interview to learn about what gave you gray hair at such a young age, right?
Yeah, we got to figure that out.
So is it that being a chef is so stressful?
It's this is stressful. Back, it's a lot of work, that's for sure. You got to be able to think on your feet. You got to make quick decisions, all about quick decisions, fixing things, putting fires out, long days. But man, I've been doing this for a long time now. So I'm naturally not a very stressed person, as I'm
Hmm.
just an extremely laid back person. I mean, I'm making food. I'm not,
Yeah.
it's not rocket science, as they would say, or rocket
Right.
surgery or brain science. But,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I mean, yeah, sure, it's stressful, but to me, it's all I know. So it's a normal level of stress to me.
Right. And I mean, I feel like I hear a lot of people who enjoy cooking, which I am not one of them. Like, my
Yeah.
admiration for chefs comes from the fact that cooking stresses me out. And
Yeah.
so when I hear people talk about how, oh, I cook to relax, I'm like, that sounds really nice. I relax by you cooking, and that works for both of us.
I relax by not having to do the dishes.
Ooh, okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't cook at home. Obviously, I eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches at home.
Nice.
No, I'll cook every now and then if I'm dating somebody, and you know they're dating a chef. I got to step up and
Oh, yeah.
at least prove, give my worth a little bit to them. But
Yeah, well, it's kind of like it would probably be like marrying a mechanic where it's like you fix everybody else's cars, but not your own.
yeah, except yours is on blocks in the front yard.
Hmm.
Essentially,
Forever.
yeah,
Yeah, that's probably how it is. So I'm trying not to be like a hypocritical nurse and try to keep myself healthy, you know? So
yeah.
we all have our things. So, so you got some foundational experience on the world stage, as it were. When
Yeah.
do you feel like you kind of came into your own and felt like you were like, I know what I like to do, I know what I like to make, and I should be the one making the decisions?
Yeah, I was. Excuse me. I was, obviously French trained. So that's my background. It's my favorite cuisine. But I certainly love south of the border. Island food, the Caribbean, the West Indies,
Mhm.
Italian. I mean, it's obviously as a chef, I love food. I love everything. So, I went through when I left. When I came back, I was in Europe for just a very brief time. I started Cafe Metro here in town. I was a chef for 3 or 4 years there, I think. Then I went on. I was at. I mean, it happened so quick. A lot of people spend so much time as doing dishes, being a line cook, uh, you know, sous chef, chef de cuisine, executive chef, and I had one job at the country club where I was a cook for a couple years, and then I went on to Le Beaujolais where I was chef de cuisine, and then my next job was executive chef. So uh, I learned
So
a
is
lot
that
from.
for people
Good.
who have not worked in a restaurant or not the kind of restaurants with this kind of status, is
Yeah.
that like skipping a grade or a few grades in school, essentially?
Well, yeah, I guess it would be something like that. I didn't, you know, there's a good and a bad from it. The only person, after a certain step, the only person I'm learning from is myself. Whereas people that build up in this business and work for so many different restaurants and under so many different chefs with different styles and
Mhm.
techniques, they had a lot of that education that they're getting through their process up to being an executive chef. So yeah, I was more or less, and I'm not as one that watches cooking shows. I don't really read cookbooks. It's just got a lot of stuff in here that's just I create my own, which I'm certainly not the only person to do that. I just
Right,
there's
right.
an upside and a downside to the way I went up the ladder, I guess, if you will.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
so most of my learning was just within myself. So a lot of trial and error.
So when do you ever feel like the chef version of writer's block, like you've kind of in between things and you're not sure what to do next? Like, where do you go for inspiration?
Oh yeah, for absolutely. Um, or just burnout. I mean, you work so
Mhm.
much, especially busy seasons or derby or whatever's going on, and you're just like, you just kind of go on cruise control
Yeah.
for a little bit, but then you're like, I'm a creator. I create. I've got um, you know my expectations of myself to withstand to make myself happy with myself, if not everybody
Yeah.
else that's coming in to experience what I'm trying to do for people in the restaurant. So you got to snap out of it, get my motivation going, and start to create again. Because then I mean, I spend most of my time in a restaurant, so I'm looking at food,
Right.
I'm looking at it, thinking, what can I do with that? It's constant, constant movement in my head, trying to create, trying to do something unique and something that's going to stand out. So it's constantly just swirling in the head. What am I going to do now?
Right. So what do you
Yeah.
do to clear your head and really like narrow down on what you're going to focus on next?
What do I do? I don't do a whole lot. So I get
Like, do you
so,
get out of town and go try something new, or do you
yeah,
like go out in the woods or anything to?
I like to do some hiking.
Mhm.
Summertime, I like to live in the pool uh, when I'm not working. I'm always about being in the pool or being in the water. Uh, but what I do travel. I do a lot of the islands. I like the West Indies, Aruba,
Mhm.
Antigua, Grenada, Barbados, all down there. If I'm not,
We're going to
usually if I'm,
Barbados this summer.
are you going?
Yeah.
I'm I'm going. I just got back. Well, I did Aruba last year, which I've done. I think it was my fourth or fifth trip there.
Oh,
I
wow.
just
You
love.
must really like that.
I do. It's just an easy island to get around. But man, that always clears my head, especially if it's a
Mhm.
solo trip.
Mhm.
Because what I might meet 800 people a week, and
Right?
as much as could be more. As much as I love meeting people and uh, pretty outgoing and hanging out, but we're closed on. I'm always closed 2 days because I need 2 days off in a row to function in life personally. A day of rest and a day of getting stuff done. But
Right?
yeah, so when I'm not working, I just kind of, for the most part, I just shut it down. Stay home, hang out with my two dogs, um,
Oh,
sit, hang out or lay in the hot tub while they lick the side of my head and just kind of
they got to
close my
check on you.
and
Make
close
sure
my
you're not
eyes,
home.
watch movies, and just chill out. So I like not too much. Take a little stimulation break.
Right?
So I'm kind of like I'm very to myself kind of person, but at the same time, it's if I'm out in my element with chef coat on, shooting it with my guests. So it's night and day. So
Right.
gotta have some time away from the chaos.
To reboot. What kind of dogs do you have?
I have boxers.
Oh, okay. Nice.
They are wild. Oh, Beluga and Filbert. So
Are they siblings?
Beluga's black for caviar, and then Filbert is hazelnut in color because Filbert is a hazelnut also. So, but
Oh.
do they behave?
No, I said, are they siblings?
Oh, they're siblings. No, they're not. They're about 6 months apart. They're pretty close in age, but they're not siblings.
We have a
They're,
golden doodle. She is very snuggly, but
yeah,
she's old.
yeah,
She's not wild at all.
yeah. Now dogs are the best. They keep me happy. I've never not had one, so they're my
Mm,
buddies.
yeah, we take turns on dogs and cats. So,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
I'll take all the animals.
right. Well, my kids definitely would, but my husband has a one animal at a time rule, so
Yeah,
that's why we take turns.
yeah,
So, now you have boxers. Louisville's a pretty boxer-friendly city, right?
yeah, absolutely.
I think I've heard that a lot. There seems to be, is there like a group of like boxer parents or something?
I don't know about that part because then I'd have to talk to people.
Oh, right, exactly. About something that's not food, which would be unacceptable.
Yeah, it'd be like too
Mhm.
much.
Yes.
No, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people with boxers. It seems like in the city, I've noticed, but I've never
Yeah.
been in a group or know anything much about that. You
Yeah.
know,
I don't either. I would be in the
yeah,
doodle group and
yeah.
so and I'm not, so it's okay.
If
But
somebody knock, I'm the guy that if somebody knocks on my door, I usually hide behind the couch.
and let your dogs bark at them and scare them away.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
when you're younger, at least when I was younger, it was excitement when someone knocked on your door. Maybe it's your neighbors or something exciting. Now it's like, don't answer the door.
Well, now it's like the only people that knock on your door are people selling
Yeah,
something.
yeah. They're scammers or selling something.
So
Yeah,
it's
You- you-
different.
yeah. Your friends will let you know when they're coming by. Hopefully.
Yeah, usually. Like all my family's in Tennessee and they had to learn some boundaries to announce themselves before walking in on each other when they grew
Yeah,
up. But yeah, family's different.
yeah.
So what do you like to watch when you're at home?
I watch a lot. I do watch a lot of movies. Just random, honestly, just
But
random movies.
more movies than shows.
Oh, absolutely. I get when I get into watching series of shows, it's not good for me because I'll
Mhm.
just keep watching episodes, and then I'll see it start getting light outside, and I'm like,
Yep.
ah, shit, what have I done?
It
But
is way too easy.
I've watched a few series. For example, right now I am uh, waiting for the next season of Landman to come out. I'm a big fan of that show. It's
Oh
funny.
yeah, we started that and then we got distracted with Dexter. We just started watching Dexter, so.
Yeah, I've watched Dexter through and through 2 or 3 times. It's a fabulous
Oh,
show. Yeah,
yeah.
it's a great show. And that's a lot of watching because there's a lot of episodes. But
But it's great. It's really good writing. We're in season 3. I hear it goes down
yeah,
after season 4. So
eh,
we haven't peaked yet.
can't believe what everybody says.
Oh, we're gonna find out for
Yeah, you'll find
science.
out your own. Yeah, it's good.
Hopefully I won't be as disappointed in the final season as I was in Game of Thrones, but
Yeah, I'm one of
that
those
was so
weirdos. I'm one of those weirdos that's never seen one Game of Thrones episode. I
whoa.
know that's
How
odd,
did you
isn't it?
make it?
I don't know.
Well, what is something that you like to watch that you feel like nobody else likes or you don't hear anybody talk about it?
Hmm. I watch a lot of obscure films that I've learned from a friend of mine who watches a lot of film, old Italian
Mhm.
horror films and Korean. I don't know of anything that's obscure. Honestly, I spend a lot of my time getting on the Netflix or Amazon, and I'll sit there and I'll watch um, trailers for
Right?
2 hours. I'm like,
Right?
I'm just going to bed. This is a waste of my time.
Exactly, because it is so hard to decide. It's like, what am I gonna really invest my time in? And then you've invested your time in literally
I know.
nothing.
It's like I could have just watched a movie, but I just watched 46 trailers.
Right? I will say, if you do like Korean dramas or whatever, we really
Yeah.
enjoyed the Extraordinary Attorney Woo. Have you seen
Oh,
that?
I haven't seen that one.
It won so many awards and it deserved all of them and more. If they want to invent awards for it, they can. It's about an autistic attorney, and it's just phenomenal. And then I'm on the Potato Lab right now, which is it
Okay.
took a little bit for me to get into it, but it's about potatoes, so maybe
Hey,
you would really love it.
I mean, who doesn't love potatoes in all forms?
Hey, I'm Irish, sir. My people
Oh,
came here for
you
potatoes.
you know all about potatoes then. That's
That's right. I won't do a diet that won't let me do potatoes. I'm like,
I
my
don't.
people came here for this.
No, I don't. I'm with you. Yeah, you gotta have potatoes.
Right. Are you Irish?
I'm not. I am English.
Okay.
But my
Just
mom's
under.
family's English. I got some Indian in me. Uh, um, so no English, no Irish.
My grandma's last name was Rye, so you can't deny that.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no, it's is what it is.
That was easy to trace through
Yeah.
the immigration process. But so let's see, your latest thing that you're in, and we met when you started working at Watch Hill proper. And that was like in 2022 when it opened, right?
Yeah, April 8th, 2022.
Mm-hmm. That was
So,
amazing. I was blown
yeah,
away by Watch Hill proper, and I'll
yeah,
have Tommy on here to talk more about that amazing bourbon club. But
yeah.
do you have like a philosophy for the food that you prepare specifically there, or is it kind of a free for all for you as far as what you come up with?
Well, yeah. Well, it's so before I was at Watch Hill, I spent some time doing some consulting work, and I was living in Antigua for about a year,
Oh,
working again. We'll do those air quotes.
mm.
I was working a
You were
little.
learning about the local cuisine.
Yeah, I was a little bit, but
Yeah.
that's a whole other story. Being out there, which was always fun. But yeah, I'd spent about 3 years prior to that doing private work and consulting, which I love to do. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I missed being seeing my guests and having that restaurant experience, which I don't know why. It's so much easier just to do private work. But yeah,
Well,
miss the vibe of a restaurant.
okay, tell me more about what you were doing consulting then though. Weren't you consulting for restaurants?
Well, I was doing. Let's see. I did a very brief stint at uh, the Louisville Boat Club, and I did a very brief stint
Mhm.
at Matt Wynn.
Mm,
Uh,
mhm,
but just wasn't. It wasn't my thing. I guess I
mhm,
got the corporate aspect of Wynn and I can't be a chef that sits in an office and just constantly
mm.
just watches compliant videos and
Oh,
paperwork. It's like
no.
that stuff's for the birds, but they're not there anymore anyway. But
Yeah.
and then I was what I say I was at the boat club for just a little bit.
Yeah, the boat
Also,
club.
just not for me, not for me. Great place, but not for me.
Hey,
Um,
but you never
but
know until you try.
yeah, exactly. That was just kind of because I've been doing private work and I was like trying to
Mhm.
get back in. I was like, yeah, maybe I just won't do it. But then they called me. Tommy did said it had spoke with another mutual friend that we know, and he's like, because they weren't going to have a kitchen originally at Watch Hill proper, so it
Oh,
was just
not
going
at
to be
all.
it was really tiny, and they were just going to do like charcuterie boards and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
And then I guess all their people were saying like, you need to have full service food here. So Tommy called me, got my number, and called me. I think I was in Antigua at the time, and he said we were told that if we want to do culinary program, that you're the guy to talk to. Obviously, I agree with him. So we we set up a meeting, and Tommy will probably tell you he says it all the time. I guess the first time we met, I went over to his house with Josh, and uh, they were like, "Hey, we love your food. We follow you. We love everything you do." And he said I responded with, "Well, yeah, you should." So he always laughs about that. It's funny, but and I went over to Watch Hill proper, and it was still gravel floor. They showed me the kitchen. I was like, "What in the hell is this? Is this a broom closet?" And he goes, "This is actually a kitchen." So
Hmm.
so we talked, and there was the beer place next to us. Uh, they didn't have they hadn't started building it yet, but I think they were getting ready to start building. And I got them to chip out, I guess, probably another 500 feet off the back of theirs to add onto my kitchen. So it
Wow.
gave me a little bit more to work with, where I could, actually put out some food. Because I think probably nearly the first year, we had an extremely limited menu, just to the fact that
Yeah.
I didn't have a kitchen big enough. I mean, my kitchen at home was bigger than the kitchen that we have. My kitchen's not that big.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, back to that was the long route to what you asked me earlier about my food.
Mhm.
Um, I still have a lot of French influence in my food that I do, and I've been told before, I've had some critics say stuff like, "Yeah, his food's kind of all over the place," and I guess some people could see that as that I'm not an Italian restaurant, I'm not a steakhouse, I'm not French cuisine. I cook food that I have a passion for, because food that I have a passion for, I put more into it. So
Mhm.
that's basically stuff that I love. It's things I love to
Yeah.
eat. And I mean, there's some other stuff in there that you need to make work for everybody. The right proteins and nice mix and blend. Vegans, vegetarians, some red meat, and you know. But essentially,
Mhm.
it just comes down to food that I love to make, and that I have a passion for, because that's what I'm going to give my all to.
Yeah. So, if you were going to go out to eat in the Louisville area for comfort food, where would you like to go?
Yeah, I would. For comfort food, I would probably end up somewhere. I'd probably end up at Oriental House
Mm.
if it was in the evening. If it's
Mhm.
lunchtime, you're probably going to catch me at a place they're actually retiring, which is sad. Is Lonnie's Chicago Dog, and I'd
Oh,
get their Italian beef hot and wet, and their Rush Street chili dog.
that sounds
And
good.
it is good. It is good. Other
What about
restaurants?
breakfast now?
What's that?
Well, we did supper and we did
Yeah,
lunch. So,
yeah.
what about breakfast?
I'm sleeping.
Oh, that's fair. Okay, but what if it's
Sleeping in.
breakfast and you're awake for some reason?
Hmm. Where would I go? That's a good question. See, I
Well, one
love.
o'clock for lunch.
See, I could live off biscuits and gravy. Well,
Right.
I say I could live off of them. I'd probably die off of them, but
Yeah,
I
you
would
would
like
die
to live
off
off
of
of
'em.
them. I would like to live off of them. uh, but yeah, I call my mom and tell her make me some
Oh,
biscuits and gravy, and I'll be by in half hour. That's what I
gotta
do.
place gotta place a on-call order.
Yeah, you know what? She'd probably do it too.
Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. My son is 15 and he wants me to make him breakfast before school every day. Now, my 9-year-old daughter does not. She wants to cook
Yeah,
for me and she's like, I can do it better. And I'm like, you probably can. But my son, he appreciates it and he said it
yeah,
tastes better if I make it for him. So that's our
yeah.
special thing. So that's really nice
So
I hope that lasts. Fingers
yeah,
crossed.
I had
Yeah.
to. I mean, I remember even from what was it? Probably elementary school, even probably up to the middle of probably kindergarten, probably up to eighth, ninth, 10th grade. I don't know. I had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich every single morning for breakfast.
For breakfast, not for lunch to take to
Every morning.
school.
My mom
Okay.
always had me a PB and J. It
Okay.
started out with just you good old Jif peanut butter with some my grandmother's strawberry freezer jam. And I would cut my
I
son.
love strawberry freezer jam.
Oh, it's the best thing on the planet.
Yes.
But I'm not a hater of Concord grape either. But Grandma's freezer jam was the jam, if you will. And
Yes.
I cut my sandwich in half, and I dip it in milk until it was soggy and eat it. But every day, peanut butter and jelly every single day. And I still
That's
am a fan of them. I just don't dip them in milk anymore. People might look at me like I'm weird.
who
I can do it
cares?
behind my closed door. Yeah, right.
I mean, if if it tastes good, why not?
Yeah,
Right?
but
You
either
can
that or
invest.
my dad makes good peanut butter pancakes too. Maybe I'd have my mom make biscuits and gravy and my dad peanut butter pancakes. And then
Yeah, put them both to work.
that would put me in a coma. I'd sleep for the whole day if I ate that. Pancakes and biscuits would be game over.
Well, now they know what your dream birthday would be. Like
Yeah,
all the
right.
carbs and sleep. That would do it. I really love blackberry jam with seeds in it because my
Oh
dad
yeah,
would make us go. We spent every 4th of July picking blackberries in the
yeah.
heat. It was awful. But then we made so much blackberry jam and it tasted really good. And it's
Oh
like, it tasted like you worked hard for it, you know?
yeah. We had 2 or 3 rows of blackberries in our garden growing up, and those things they just won't quit growing. My parents are
Yeah.
like telling friends, just come pick blackberries, come get them. But
Hmm.
nothing like blackberry cobbler either.
Oh my gosh, with some vanilla ice cream. Hey,
No,
you just text me if you're having some of that over
I
at Watch Your
will.
Water this summer.
They're,
Have
they're
to
gonna
come get it.
be peaches and blackberries will be in season soon. I'll be busting out some cobblers soon enough.
Nice. I'll be there. That sounds awesome. So,
Uh,
so, looking back on your culinary career, what do you feel like you're most proud of?
uh, I was kind of as a kid, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I know, or young adult, I was pretty worthless. I think. Sort of. I was a troublemaker. I had 2 sisters that were
Oh
great. I was a
no.
little bit more of a troublemaker.
No.
So, me professionally, honestly, I think the time I was the most proud of myself is knowing when I know that my parents and my daughter are proud of me. That's when I know I've done what I need to do.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, if you, that's obviously a little bit on the deeper side, but just professionally, I don't know. I'm never really pleased or happy. I mean, I'm happy, but I'm
Mhm.
all like, I'll write menus, throw it in the trash, write another one, throw it in the trash. I
Mhm.
just never, I never feel like
Satisfied.
I'm never satisfied. No, not with what I do professionally. And there's just no, we're not going to be able to do anything about that. It's what it is.
Right. Right. Well,
I'm a perfectionist.
they said Walt Disney, when he was like on his deathbed, like the last week or whatever, he couldn't even lift a
Yeah.
pen, but he had someone sitting there while he dictated his ideas to him because
Oh yeah.
he was just so full of ideas. They just never stopped and just
Yeah.
had to get him out there. So maybe they would
Yeah.
come to something later.
Yeah. It's a lot. I mean, I used to, I used to play piano a little bit. I used to play saxophone a little bit.
Oh.
Obviously, I paint,
Hmm.
and I drew a good bit. I like photography. I do a
Hmm.
little writing. I do some poetry. I do some short story writing, and
Oh,
it's
really?
always I've always got like something in my head I need to get out somehow, some way. So
Right.
it's always spinning. Yeah.
Yeah. I know the feeling. So, for you, how do you narrow down what ideas to focus on? Like, do you more choose ideas that make you the most excited or that you feel like are most realistic that you can make happen?
Oh, I'm never realistic. That would be silly. Uh, I'm wanting to push the boundaries as much as Louisville, Kentucky will let me push the boundaries. the community, if you will, the foods and what's uh, the unless the palates are different all over
Yeah.
the country, all over the world. So trying to match something that works with our guest. We're kind of we don't have white tablecloths. We're not a fine dining restaurant, but a lot of the things I'm doing are certainly fine dining food, uh, and some aren't. But yeah, I don't know.
I feel like your flavors are really accessible, so I think you're
Yeah,
appealing to plenty of people. What do you
yeah,
feel like when you're thinking about that? Are you remembering anything in particular that you tried that you were like excited about but just didn't go over well in this locality?
yeah. I think so. And then some of them I'll try again, maybe in a different way.
Hmm.
Uh, but I'm always just trying to, and even in my space in my kitchen, which is pretty small. But it could grow. It could grow again. We will see. Even like my team, I'm pushing like how many elements I can incorporate into that dish to give it just another level of whether it be flavor, texture, something different and unique. So I'm always pushing how much I can get my team to do, obviously in a timely manner that makes sense. So I think all aspects, I'm always trying to push just a little bit more than I should. But
What
that's,
is a type of food that you would really like to see take off here?
I love, and it's here, but I love raw application, on seafood, on
Mhm.
beef, lamb, whatever have you. I don't know. I don't know if I mean it's
Wait,
taken off. Like it's not like
raw
sushi
lamb?
necessarily. What's that?
Raw lamb?
Oh yeah, like some lamb tartare. I mean, it's all
Oh,
been done. I mean, people have it here, but me personally, I wouldn't say take off. I love eating raw food.
and like to have that as an option in different places.
Yeah, but I don't know what I would want to see take off per se. I mean, I mean, everything's been done somewhere by somebody.
Or
Anything else?
tried and then it didn't make it and it's not available, right? Is there
Yeah,
anything that's not available you feel like you have to go out of town for?
it's a good question.
Right? Because
Well,
we have good options. A lot of
yeah,
people don't know we have some really good seafood available because we've got that airport hub and we can
yeah.
get same day fresh fish. So we
Yeah,
have
no,
a
we got
lot
great. There's a
of
lot of
options.
great restaurants in this town, and yeah, that's one of the things. People come here from out of town. They're like, I'm like, this tuna came out of the water yesterday morning in Honolulu. I've been working with those guys for 20 years, Honolulu fish companies. So
Hmm.
they call me in the morning. And I'm like, yeah, let me get whatever 25 pounds of that super bright ahi, and they'll throw it throw it on a bird, and it'll be here the next day. So
Hmm.
having the capability to get the quality product in here. A lot of people don't realize it, but it certainly
Yeah.
helps stabilize the significance of the great restaurants that we have here.
It really does. It really does, especially with so many like international foods that we have here. And so I'm really thankful. And like I've been to a lot of cities in the last year. I've done a lot more traveling for work and I've been to some outstanding places, but
Yeah,
also it's really made me appreciate all the variety that we have here in Louisville that I had a hard time finding in other bigger name cities.
yeah, and of course, some of the cities. I was in New York recently. There's just not enough time in the day to go all the restaurants you want to go to. But
So
here,
true.
this town, you can doesn't take you too long to get to all of them. There's not, you know,
Well,
200,000 restaurants. Well, if you're
there's
dedicated,
not. They're not. But I've been to over 400 in the last 4 years, and they just keep opening more one of them. And I don't know if I'm ever going to get to all of them, Michael.
that's a lot. So that's a lot you've been to. That's significant.
Well, I tell you what though, like I had a list and I was like, "Oh, I haven't been to that one or that one or that one. What if they close before I get to try it?" And I almost had a panic attack one day. 'Cause this was a couple years ago. I've calmed down a little bit. But like because I had to tell myself if I don't make it, it wasn't
Just
meant to
relax.
be.
Just relax. Yeah.
But I was really, really into it.
You know,
So,
I was thinking today, I was like, I might actually take off the rest of the evening and go somewhere to eat tonight. I haven't been, so I don't know where I'm going to
yeah.
go yet. We'll figure
Oh,
it. We'll
well,
figure it out.
you probably can't because you probably won't be able to get a reservation last minute, but the new Sake a Go-Go,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's
dude,
open
I went
now.
there last night. Totally blew my mind. I didn't know that calamari could be like that.
Yeah. Huh.
Like, you should try
Yeah.
it.
I forgot about them. Yeah, I'll have to check them out.
Do you like calamari?
I do. Yeah. I used to
Well,
do.
this is not like other calamari, but you should try it.
Yeah, I used to do one that my mentor Patrick Peter Le Beaujolais. We had a couple different that I remember that we had because we sautéed it. The calamari with we had one that had basil and red pepper flakes with Pernod, and then we had another one that had like potatoes with apple and Calvados. That we did a
What's
saute
Calvados?
on them. So it's like a apple liqueur, apple brandy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, that sounds great. Oh, and have you been to Copper and Kings and eaten there?
I haven't. You know, I didn't
Dude,
even.
oh, like it's a small menu, but it is a quality over quantity situation. Like,
They've been there for a while, haven't they?
yes,
I just went.
yeah,
I've been to their bar. I've been to their bar once, but I haven't eaten.
you need to eat
Story
their
of my
food.
life. I've been to the bar.
You got to have some food to let everything settle.
Oh, I do. I do.
Yeah.
I eat.
Yeah, you should definitely. We were so impressed when we went there because, I mean, it was not your typical bar food. It was. I have a really nice reel. I'll text it to you. And for anyone listening, you can find it on my Instagram at Rosa Raves.
Um, absolutely. I know. You know, it's a lot. You're informed well for being to that many restaurants. I'm
Well,
just gonna
I
start.
did.
Whenever I get hungry, I'm just gonna start texting you and be like, "Where should I
You
go eat?"
should. You should, because I mean, you eat so much of your own food, or you are in that one place so much, you don't get a chance to get out that much. But
Yeah, no, it's like,
at this point. But yeah, you feel free to anytime. That's why I do it. I share it because,
you know,
and getting started, I have no background in that. Like I said, I'm not confident in the kitchen. And so
yeah,
I'm not approaching it from a critic perspective, but just
yeah.
exploring and I'll try it and see what I
Well,
like. And if I don't have
what's
anything
good is
nice to say,
what's
the
good is
worst
good.
thing, exactly. And my like worst critique is if I don't have anything nice to say, I'm not going to say anything
Yeah,
at all.
yeah. Yeah. That's a good way to be. I was like, me, I don't do I don't have anything bad to say about anything or anybody. That I don't talk politics, I don't talk religion, I don't talk about my personal. I mean, I like to people personal. So let's keep everything to myself.
Well, I have found food to be such a great unifier.
Yeah. No, food is. It's a everyone
Yeah.
can relate.
Well, we all do get hungry.
Yeah. Got to do something
Except with
about it.
my son here, as much as he likes me to make him breakfast, I can't get him to try new things. So, I don't know.
His palate will change. I think they say your palate changes about every 7 years or so.
Mhm. So
Starts
one
to
can hope.
something like yeah. He needs to
Yep.
try some of Mom's biscuits and gravy. He'll be ready.
Right. Well, I hope so. I can get him to do the biscuits. We'll have to like try to sneak the gravy in there somehow. Well, this has been so lovely getting to know you. And is there anything that you want to make sure our listeners know about that's coming up for you? Or are there any other like opportunities you'd like to take around town that you'd like people to keep you in mind for?
You know, I think just I'm just excited about. Well, I'm excited about summer coming up. I just put out a new summer menu at Watch Hill, so excited about getting that out and getting the community in to try it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like, where I'm at, we are doing great things with whiskey,
Mm-hmm.
bottle clubs,
Mm-hmm.
memberships, always open to the public. But I'm just grinding away, trying to do great things, and trying to feed the community great food, and try to be a decent person along the way.
Well, I think it's working. So thank you for that. And
Yeah,
I can't wait to check out your summer menu with the cobblers.
yeah, absolutely. I'll let you know when they're around.
Yep. And if people want to follow you on social media, is Instagram the best place?
Yeah, I would say so.
And then
Which is
it's
I
Chef
think,
M.A. Crouch.
yep, Chef MJ Crouch. Yep.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
And I'm
Thank
at
you.
Rosa Raves on social media. So feel free to reach out if you know of other wonderful chefs or other local people who are making an impact that makes our city better that need to be highlighted on the Lou Review podcast. And also, gently announcing we're making the Lure Review podcast into a nonprofit foundation. And so we're hoping to make some more announcements coming up soon about that.
Well, great.
All right. Well, and I will
Yeah.
see you all in the next episode. So be sure to like and subscribe wherever you're listening and make sure your notifications are turned on so you'll hear when the next episode drops. Bye.